What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about the top 5 most heavily shorted stocks to add to your watch list for this upcoming week. So I'm going to go over all the things that you need to know, but first make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. Starting off with stock number 5, very popular retail driven stock, Bowlero Corp, ticker BOWL, did go up 1.99% on Friday. Over the last 1 year, up 27.71%, and in 2024 down 16.67%. I'm sure a lot of you guys generally know what they do, but this is the company profile, so you guys can kind of pause it and read through it if need be. But 57.5% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 11.25 million shares overall are being shorted. Shorts returned roughly around 15,000 shares. Utilization is 93.03. Short score is 89.31. And there's a lot of other good data up top here that I'm not necessarily going to go through, but one thing I do want to bring up, shares on loan is 8.26 million, and overall shares being shorted is 11.25. So kind of a clear indication of naked shorting. But again, you guys take all this with a grain of salt, but through IBKR does indicate around 200,000 shares is available to be shorted. Moving on to stock number 4, Big Bear, tickers BBAI, did go down 1.27% on Friday. Over the last 1 year though, it is kind of still positive, up 5.44%, and in 2024 down 27.75%. And this is the company profile, so you guys can again pause it if need be. But 62.29% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 22.59 million shares. Shorts did return about 51,000 shares on Friday. Shorts overall have really doubled the hell down, so it was around 16% short interest like a month ago, and so at its peak it looks like it was at 77.42 on September the 13th. So shorts have been definitely all over this one right here. Cost to borrow average is 24.29. Short score, so the higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening, is 91.31. On a side note, if you want any context on any of these numbers, what they mean, let me know in the comments below. I can definitely break that down for you. But through IBKR, it does indicate 500,000 shares is available to be shorted. Moving on to stock number 3, very popular retail stock, and that is RILY Financial. Did go up 1.82% on Friday. Over the last 1 year though, it is down 87.25%, and in 2024 down 74.73%. This is kind of what they do generally. You guys can go through that. Seasonality, us heading into October, seems to be flat over the last 10 years. So something just to kind of incorporate. But November does seem to be fairly good, typically up 6.6% over the last 10 years. And so based on this, 66.27% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 10.53 million shares, equates to about $55 million worth. Cost to borrow average is fairly high, so 213.58%, and utilization is 100%. Based on this as well, you guys can kind of see just generally shorts have returned quite a lot. Still, despite them returning quite a lot, they are still stock number 3. So it went from around 85% to where it is now. Through IBKR, it does indicate that there is around 35,000 shares available to be shorted. So somewhat limited supply. Again, take that with a grain of salt. Moving on to stock number 2. Did a dedicated video all about this, and that is West Rock Coffee, tickers WEST. Did go down 1.04% on Friday. Over the last 1 year, down 23.68%, and in 2024 down 34.67%. This is what they do again, but right here, 70.13% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 6.33 million shares. And generally the shorts have been doubling down over the last little bit. So it looks like the low was roughly around 50% short interest, which is very high still, but that was done on August 9th. So yeah, shorts have been doubling the hell down with this company. Short score is 86.52% as well. And through IBKR does indicate around 95,000 shares is available to be shorted. And before I get into stock number 1, one thing to kind of factor with every one of these stocks that I'm talking on, of course, every stock has different operational requirements coming up, earnings and whatever else, but generally the market is in very much a good kind of greed aspect, good momentum behind the scenes. So if it does continue, a lot of these stocks such as what I've mentioned so far, could very much go up just as a byproduct of that, because it is obviously it's hard to tell exactly, but it is fair to assume that bigger entities are shorting multiple different stocks. And as the market does go up, they try to mitigate risk, right? So what they do is they try to close out a lot of their short positions. So again, that could really help in this scenario for this upcoming week. But once again, getting back to it, stock number 1 is this one. So new one, ticker's LUCY, so Innovative Eyewear, did go up 2.18%. There's a couple of things I want to go through prior to the short interest, because I did have to double check and it seems off, but typically some things that really cause Ortex, so the platform that I do use for it to be off, is if they do a recent reverse stock split within 2 weeks. So they did a 1-for-20 on July 18th. So that is obviously outside the 2 weeks. And as well, if they have done a recent kind of prospectus dilution, and similarly around that July time period was the last time that they did a prospectus. So you have to take all this with a grain of salt, but essentially this is why I did kind of explain that, because it does show it is on the threshold list, but it does show 209.93% of the free float is being shorted. That equates to 82,000 shares overall are being shorted. Cost of our average is very, very high, 673.46%. And through IBKR does indicate around 2,000 shares is available to be shorted. So this is why I did kind of let you guys know that it has not done a recent reverse stock split, has not done any recent dilution that investors are, I guess, privy to at this stage. So yeah, 209.93%. Take that with a grain of salt, of course. Do you guys' own due diligence. But yeah, this is the top 5 most heavily shorted stocks in the market that you guys could add to your watch list for this upcoming week. So don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. If there is any other stocks that you feel are squeeze plays, let me know in the comments below. I can kind of review it. Consider doing a dedicated video for it this weekend, so let me know. And on a side note, take advantage of this. Only a couple days left. It does give you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000, so this is a kick-ass deal. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.